Good evening and welcome to the Tuesday night net of the Ozarks Amateur Radio Society. This net meets regularly on Tuesday night at 7 p.m. on this frequency of 146.970 with a PL tone of 162.2. My name is Wes and my call sign is AE0OC. While this is not an emergency net, if anyone at any time has emergency traffic, please call break. Does anyone have emergency traffic? Please call now. Hearing none, I will move on to announcements of interest to amateur radio. I will be using NetLogger for check-ins on this net, and anyone who wishes can check in early by monitoring the OARS net there. The annual OARS Club picnic will be this Saturday at 5 p.m. at Crosby Park in Aurora behind Sonic. Bob will be there around 3, so if anyone would like to come and help set up or just keep him company, I'm sure he'd appreciate it. You do need to bring your own table service. Now this is your last warning, bring your own eating utensils, unless you want to use your fingers to eat Bob's beans. This is a potluck, so please bring a side dish. Also, our monthly meeting will be held at the picnic. More to follow. On September 2nd and 3rd, the OARS Club will be setting up a special event station at the Billings Fair. We are still in need of operators for this event, especially on Friday evening. You can contact Bob, KA0RM, to sign up. And then starting again in September, the OARS Amateur Radio Society will meet on the second Saturday of the month at the Happy House restaurant in Monette, Missouri. The meeting is at 7 p.m., but everyone is welcome to come at 6 to eat and enjoy some good conversation. Individuals pay for their own meal, but you do not have to eat to attend. You also do not have to be a ham to attend. Everyone is welcome, including family members and those interested in amateur radio. The next meeting at Happy House will be Saturday, September 10th. This net is now being streamed on the 5-9 Radio YouTube channel, so if you want to see how you sound on the radio or you miss part of the net, you can go to 59radio.com for details and a link to the channel. Is there anyone monitoring who has other announcements of interest to amateur radio? Please call now. All right, well, hearing none, I've got a few NetLogger check-ins. So we'll get started with those. We'll start out with N0KTM. Kevin, how are you tonight, and what do you have for the net?
Okay, find the foot switch is what the game name of this game is. always. Anyway, this is N0KTM in East Springfield. Good evening to Wes and everyone on the net. Not too much going on. Just kind of trying to lay low with the weather, although it was a little bit cooler today. Only problem was it was very, very humid out there. So I did go outside and do a few things around in the yard. Got thoroughly soaked, and so I'm hoping that maybe the humidity will go down, but it's going to get warmer, I'm afraid. But the weatherman, at least the one I heard this evening, said that after next Monday or Tuesday, or maybe next week, things are going to start to moderate a little bit. So I'm hoping, because we've got a couple of weeks of camping scheduled in September, and we haven't been since May because of the hot weather. No sense in going out and dragging the camper out and doing all that setup and everything to sit inside in the air conditioning because it's too hot to sit outside and too hot to have a fire. Anyway, that's it for me. This is N0KTM, back to AE0OC net control.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was inside most of the day today. I didn't have much to do outside, so went out for a while, went into town for a bit, but It was a whole lot cooler than it has been, that's for sure, but it was kind of muggy. My power went out last night. It was out for a few hours, which makes it a real hassle for me because my CPAP ends up stopping, and I am up until the power comes back on, or I finally drag a battery in there and hook it up to battery backup. But it came back on about 3 in the morning, and that's when I went to bed. But appreciate you checking in tonight, Kevin, and we'll move on down to our next net logger check-in, KE0MAD. Sean, how are you tonight, and what do you got for the net?
Yeah, E0C, KE0MAD. No, not much. I'm just glad for the cool down. I needed it. It's been a stressful few weeks running around to my job trying to keep chickens cool. Anyway, nothing on this end. Just want to thank you for doing that. And, well, I guess we'll see what the rest of the week brings. A0C, KE0MAD. Thank you.
All right. Well, I hope you're able to make it to the picnic, or you looking like you're going to be able to.
It's too early to tell. I've requested vacation, but we'll just have to see what happens.
Well, I hope it works out. We'd all like to see. Well, I hope it works out. We'd all like to see you there, I'm sure. So, appreciate you checking in tonight, and I'm going to move on down. We got one more early check-in on NetLogger. It's KA0SPM. Steve, how are you tonight, and what do you got going on? Well, it looks like Steve sent a little message on there that he's not able to get in to the repeater tonight, so that's too bad. So we're at this time we're ready to start taking check-ins. Do I have any check-ins for the OARS net? Please call now. This is AE0OC.
KE0WRU, Robert in Golden City.
W0ZAC, Zach, Mount Vernon.
Aurora.
All right, I got 3 of you there. 2 of you doubled, but I think I figured out who you each were. So let's start out with KE0WRU. Bob up in Golden City, how are you tonight?
Oh, well, it's pretty good, I guess. I want to say thanks for running it. Been having a kind of a hairy last week and a half after my wife come down sick, kidney problems, and all kinds of things going wrong. It's been kind of hectic around here, but we will survive. We'll persevere. And I got a big 9/10 of rain yesterday morning, so it can't get much better than that. I guess that's about all I got for the net. Thanks again for running the net. KE0WRU.
Well, yeah, I think we're all thankful. Any of us that got some rain, we're very happy to be getting it. So I know that I was appreciative for what I got. I didn't get as much as a lot of people around us did, but at least we got some. And you know, my grandpa used to say that rain in August is rain. It doesn't matter how much it is; it's still rain. So, all right, I'm gonna say 73 with you, Bob, and move on down to Zach, W0ZAC. How are you tonight, and what do you got for the net?
Well, hello, Wes, and everyone on the net. Thanks for running the net tonight, Wes. Sounding good. Not much going on down here. We had 2.5 inches of rain over the night, so that was a good thing for me. My poor yard was needing it bad, well, as was everything else around here, but hopefully I'll get to mow again here soon. It's starting to look kind of shabby around my place. Not much else to add for the net tonight, so back to you, W0ZAC.
Yeah, I know we didn't get anywhere near 2.5 inches. I don't have a rain gauge, but there's no way we got that much. but I'm still glad for what we got, and I'm glad you guys got that much because that really is going to help out with things around here. It was getting really dry, that's for sure. So thank you for checking in tonight, Zach, and see you at the picnic on Saturday. And I'll say 73 with you and move on down to KA0RM. Bob, how are you tonight?
Kilo Alpha Zero, Romeo Mike. Hello. Doing pretty good. Not too bad a day. A lot cooler than it was. We got 1.75 inches. All the little low spots around the yard and the back side there's not a water drop standing. It all soaked in. Grass has jumped here the last day or so, I got to go to Iowa tomorrow. So Thursday, I'm going to have to get out here and weed eat and mow the whole thing. But there's no water standing, so I won't have to worry about getting stuck or anything like that. But yeah, I need for the Billings Fair in September. I need somebody to help me on Friday evening there. I need somebody there. If I can't find anybody, why set up and everything, I guess we can do it ourselves. We'll figure about a 2-hour shift, but I'll probably be there anyway, so it won't be no big deal. Going to Iowa tomorrow, so I won't be leaving until probably about 3 o'clock, so it'll be about 3 o'clock before I get back in the morning on Thursday morning, so that's going to be kind of an emergency thing there tonight. The boss called this afternoon there anyway. Went to Springfield, took a trailer up there to get the injector on one of those reefers put in. I wasn't figuring on doing that either, but anyway, give me something to do. And that's about it here, I think. So we'll catch you later. W08 AE0OC KA0M. Get you guys mixed up.
You know, Zach and I look so much alike that I can see how you could get us mixed up. Yeah, sure. So anyway, yeah, I'm really looking forward to Saturday. It's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to your baked beans too, especially. So I will let you go and see if we got anybody else wanting in. This is AE0OC. Do I have any more check-ins for the OARS net?
N0 MLP, November 0 Mike Lima Papa, Marvin and Greenfield.
WB0 OQV, WB0 Oscar Queen Victor, Jim in Marionville.
All right, got two of you there. I got Marvin in 0 MLP. How are you tonight, Marvin? And what do you got for the net?
Oh, Wes, doing pretty good. Hello to everyone out there. Don't have a whole lot. Was glad to get some rain up here last night. Pretty good storms rolled through. Looked like everything on radar kind of developed over the top of us here and kind of merged together there in this area. So don't have a rain gauge here. I'm working on getting a weather station put up, but I'd say we got close to an inch probably, maybe 3/4 of an inch if I had to guess, but much needed for sure, no doubt about it. But other than that, I think that's all I got. I'm going to try to get 2 other people around here to check in when they get back. So if they get back in time, I'll see if I can get 2 more to come in here and check in. So but anyway, I'll hand it back to you, Wes, and appreciate you running the net there, and tell everybody hi in 73.
All right, Marvin. Well, I'll try to drag it out as long as I can, get the extra check-ins, that's for sure. But, yeah, I watched it on radar last night, and it looked like you guys were getting pretty good storms with quite a bit of lightning, actually, up there, too. So I'm glad everything fared well for you guys. I'll say 73 with you, and we'll go to WB0 OQV Jimmy out of Marionville.
Wes, AE0OC, WB0QV. Well, good evening, everybody. Really don't have much here. We thankfully got a good rain. I don't know how accurate my electronic gauge is, but I think it said 1 3/4 inches. but I know one thing, the grass sure popped up, so I will have to mow it now. So anyway, don't have anything else. Everybody sounded good tonight, and we'll listen until you guys get done here to see if there's anything else. A0CW0QV.
All right, Jimmy, that seems to be about the consensus around there is give or take 2 inches of rain. So I think we got a little less than that, but it seems like there was a big storm that went south of us through Mount Vernon, and then another one that went north of us up through Stockton and Greenfield area, and we were kind of stuck in the middle here in Miller, and we're just right on the edge of the one that went through Mount Vernon. So we got a little, but not as much as they did. But appreciate you checking in tonight, and we'll say 73 to you. And do I have any further check-ins for the OARSnet? This is AE0OC. Please call now.
Kilo Echo 0, Oscar Mike Juliet, KE0, OMJ, Roger and Ozark.
All right, I got one there. Is that KE0 OMJ? Did I get that right?
Yes, sir, KE0 OMJ, that's right, Roger and Ozark.
All right, Roger, how are you tonight, and what do you have for the net?
Oh, not doing too bad, just here in Ozark. We're watching the granddaughter tonight, so we're watching TV and playing with her, and she's just starting to walk, so we're trying to get her moving and keep the dogs from challenging her, I guess. So, nope, just hanging out. Remember the net, so I thought I'd jump in and give it a whirl.
All right, well, it's good to hear from you, Roger. How much rain did you get?
Got quite a bit. I don't have a gauge, but it came down pretty good for quite a while last night, so it was good. I'll take whatever we can get.
Yeah, that's for sure. My well isn't real deep, and so I always worry about it when it gets dry that I'm going to run out of water. But I'm glad that we're getting some rain to replenish things around here. So I appreciate you checking in tonight, and we'll say 73 to you. And do you have any further check-ins for the OARSnet? All right, one more call, just real quick. Any other check-ins for the OARS Tuesday Night Net? This is AE0OC.
Kilo Echo 0, Yankee Mike Z, David, Springfield.
All right, David, KE0YMZ, how are you tonight?
Good evening, Wes. I'm doing great. Just walked by the bench here with the 2-meter radio on it and turned it on to do some testing, the power supply, and the radio came on, and I heard you, so I thought I'd check in. I had programmed this frequency a couple of weeks ago to check into this net, and for whatever reason didn't make it. So nothing to report here. It did get some rain. My grass is green. It's growing. I'm going to mow a little bit tomorrow. So other than that, that's all I've got.
Well, David, I'll tell you what, I know mowing's a chore, but I'm glad to see some people having to do that chore because it was getting pretty crispy. Of course, I don't have to worry too much about it. My daughter's got her goats out in my backyard, so that keeps that pretty well mowed down. And then The field, I was worried where she's got her other bigger goats in the field. I was worried that we were going to have to be buying some hay for them, but I think it's going to green up a little bit, hopefully, and keep us from having to do that. And so, really, just a little bit of weed eating around the front of the house is about all that we have to do here. So, works out pretty well. Well, I appreciate you checking in, and I'll see you soon. This is AE0OC. Do I have any further check-ins for the OARSnet?
Kilo Charlie 0, Uniform Kilo Alpha.
All right, how are you tonight, Mike? Kilo 0, or sorry, KC0 UKA. How are you doing? What do you got for the net?
Really don't have a lot. We got two and 3/4 of an inch. So, you know, I thought I was doing pretty decent.
Wow, yeah, you are the winner of the poll tonight. You've reported more than anybody else, so that is quite a bit of rain, especially to come in all in one day. So hopefully it didn't all run off and some of it soaked in good.
I hope so. I tell you what, though, my landlady's got one up there on her where she usually parks the truck until it started having some problems. But I'll guarantee you, if we are both empty and we start at the same time, I'll always have a little bit more than what she has, and I don't know why.
Well, now, Mike, you can't be drilling a hole in your landlady's rain gauge. That's just not fair.
Tell me about it. She told me how much she had, and I went out and looked at mine, and I told her what I had. There ain't no way you can have more than I got. It should be the same, but it usually turns out that way. But no, it's flat forward up here. In fact, when last night, I don't know how late it was. I looked before it really took off on that second gust, and I'd already had 2 inches, and then it filled up where it went up to 2 1/4 inches when I finally got ready to go to bed, and then I gained it to another 2/4 to where it was 2 3/4. So I didn't think we did too bad. But other than that, it's been a good day. I started putting my antenna up, and I'm going to hook up this one side and then try to get the other side hooked up real quick. If I can make sure I know which one it is I'm taking down. Because if I lose the line that I've got it pulled up with, I'm going to be in trouble.
Now, is that the off-center fed that you're putting up? I thought that's what I'd heard you talking about before.
Pulled it down, and we put a shortened 80-meter double extended zip, and it's sitting at I think 44 feet per side, and it has a ballum on it as well at the bottom of the ladder line. And evidently, the ballum that's on the double extended zip will not let it tune anywhere in the band. And when you get up into the band, it pegs the SWR reading all the way over to the right. And there ain't no way of getting it down. But my double extended zip, it came down, and I replaced the wires on it on one side, and it may still be working, but I talked to a man that has used nothing but Carolina Wyndhams for years, and he said It needs to be 40 feet. No, it needs to be 120 feet, and you'd have 80 feet on one side and 40 feet on the other. And mine's got 50 feet on the other side. And he said that's probably what's screwing your antenna up. And so I'm going to leave it together. I'm going to shorten that one side, and I'm going to hang it up in the trees and see if it will tune. If it'll tune, I'll put it back up. But if it won't, I'll figure out something else. But and then we'll have two antennas. I'm putting up a dipole right now for 40.
Well, I'm running an 80 meter off center fed, and what I'm running is 1/3 on the short side and 2/3 on the long side, and it seems to work pretty good. I have heard other people that will run like a 70-30 between the two and do real well with them too. And I'd say probably either one will probably work. It's just where you'll be at in different bands, may change a little bit. But one way you can test that balun out and see if the balun itself is bad is if you'll take the antenna legs off of it and run two 100 ohm resistors in parallel, which will make a 50 ohm load, and then hook your analyzer up to that and see where your SWR is. It should be 1-to-1.
Well, we on the balun on that off-center fed dipole, it's hooked up where you can hook. They put a short, what they call a short shunt deal. It's about 10 foot long, and then it's got a rod that's about a foot, and it's supposed to have some stuff in it too. But I talked to a buddy of mine that used to be in Tennessee, and he's in Colorado now, and he said that throw that short shunt away and just run straight cable up to it and then try it. But he said, I'll bet you it'll work. If it don't work, the balun is bad. That's all I can tell you about it.
Okay, yeah, that's something to try. And I misspoke about that too. For an off-center fed, you want to put the two resistors, two 100 ohm resistors in series, not parallel, to make a 200 ohm load, because that's what your 4-to-1 balun is supposed to knock down. It's supposed to take a 200 ohm load and turn it into a 50 ohm. So that's how you test it with your analyzer that way, and eliminate the legs. That's strictly test the balun and nothing else.
All right, so now how do you hook that up then? Because the way that off-center fed was hooked up, you had two eye bolts coming in on the side, one down at the top, and where they put the wires onto the eye bolts, and then they brought it back up on the side and hooked them, but then it come back around and was hooked to that eye bolt, because they are a covered wire on it. But they hooked that up into where you could just tighten a nut down on it, and that gave you your continuity to the 4-to-1 balun. And I assume that's what it was, because I bought it from the Associated Radio. But like I say, I don't know if it's the balun that's bad or what. But he told me to throw the short shunt away on it first, and then he said if it doesn't work, you'll have to replace the balun. And he said the baluns are cheap; you don't have to worry about that. So but I'll just replace it and put it all back together, and I'll have it. But he told me he put one together. He started experimenting in different lengths, and he said for a 40 meter you need 66 foot on one side and 33 foot on the other side. But he told me the best that he's ever found for him to work on every band really well. He said instead of being 130 feet, he said it needs to be 120 feet. You run 80 feet on one side and 40 on the other. He said that's given me the best results. He said I can do 80, 40, 20, 15, and 10, and the only thing I can't work is 30 and 17.
Well, as far as that part goes, you'll have to use your analyzer and test things out that way to see where you get your best resonant dips in the right spots. And that's what it really amounts to, is the different formula between the 70-30 or the 66-33 or whatever, is where when you tune in that 80 or 40 or whatever, it's when it's set where you want it, or the other one's going to be, the other dip's going to be where you want them too. And they can change by the variation of where you're at, position-wise, side to side on it.
Yeah, he's done the 80-30. He's done the 70-30. He's done like I say, he's done them all. He's run. He done his experimentation on his own, and just started different links and checking everything out. And he said, do the 80 foot on one side and the 40 foot on the other. That's where he has had his best luck. And then if you really want one that'll do 80 through 10 really well, he said go to the 66 foot on one side, 33 foot on the other. And I'm gonna take his word for it. This guy's 84 years old. He's been in ham radio for I don't know how many years, and he makes all his own antennas, and he does get out, and he does hear well.
Yeah, it's definitely worth a try. There's no question about that. And if you just keep checking it with your analyzer until you get it set the way you want it and get all your dips where you want them lined up, eventually you'll get it all set and ready to go. So, all right, well, I'm going to go ahead and say 73 with you, Mike, and see if we got anybody else wanting to check in. And best of luck with you on that antenna. This is AE0OC. Do I have any further check-ins for the OARSnet?
This is KF0HHH, Kilo Foxtrot 0 Hotel, Kathy from Greenfield.
Well, hello, Kathy. Glad to have you on the net. This is your first time to check in. First time I've ever made contact with you on the radio, for that matter. So, glad to hear from you tonight. How have you been, and what have you been up to?
I'm doing all right. Just working and coming home, dealing with kids.
Oh, yeah. I take it when you say the kids, you're talking about your granddaughter?
Yes.
Yeah, that is one sharp little girl, I'll tell you that much. I bet she could be a handful at times, but boy, she's a lot of fun. So are you going to be able to make it to the picnic Saturday?
As long as God's willing, yep.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you and all of your family there. So I appreciate you checking in tonight. And actually, you brought us up to a tie for the record number of check-ins. If I end up getting one more, I'll break the tie. So appreciate you checking in. I'm going to say 73 with you, and hopefully have one more somebody that'll check in. This is AE0OC.
All right, I'm passing it off. This is Kilo Foxtrot 0 Hotel Delta, Marjorie from Greenfield.
Well, hello, Marjorie. How are you tonight? Glad to hear from you. You just broke our record. Thank you very much. So, how have you been, and what have you been up to?
I've been good and not up to a whole lot. Trying to stay good.
Yeah, I don't know if I've been good or not, but I've been trying to stay out of trouble at least. So, but I'm looking forward to seeing all you and all your family at the picnic. I know it's going to be a lot of fun. So, hopefully you'll be able to come along too.
I'm going to be there. I'll turn it over to someone else.
All right. Thank you for checking in tonight, Marjorie. This is AE0OC. Do I have any further check-ins for the OARS net? One final call for the Tuesday night OARS net before we shut it down. This is AE0OC. All right, you cut out on me there. Can you try one more time for me?
This is ATM. Was looking for a reset.
Yeah, go ahead, Kevin. What do you got?
Well, everybody's talking about the wonderful rain they got yesterday, and we got disappointed here. They got deluged on in parts of Springfield, and I went out to my rain gauge this morning, and I had a 10th. The ground was all wet. I don't know whether it's just was skipping around my rain gauge or what, but there wasn't a whole lot of rain in my rain gauge.
Huh. I would be surprised if that's all you actually got. I mean, I'd hate to have to guess here, but I'd say somewhere in the neighborhood of an inch maybe overnight. I mean, we got quite a little bit of rain. Not quite as much as some people did, but we got quite a little bit. We didn't have hardly any lightning here, but that was enough somewhere around us that shut the power off. But all in all, though, we just got a good soaking rain all night.
Yeah, it did come down a little bit here, but usually when we get anything over a quarter inch or so, we get puddles on the asphalt drive, and we get puddles out in the yard, and we didn't get any of that with this. But we did get the last two rains. We did get about inch and a half ish each of those times. So we did get a fair amount of rain. The yard is starting to green up. I'll probably have to go out tomorrow and crank up the mower and give it a little haircut.
All right. Well, I don't think it's supposed to be super hot tomorrow, so you shouldn't be in too bad shape mowing. But appreciate the recheck there. Actually, you kind of reminded me. If there's anyone else who'd like to make a recheck or has some other comment you want to make or something, go ahead and call now and let me know, and I'll get you back on for a minute. This is AE0OC.
MLP.
Go ahead, Marvin.
Yeah, well, first of all, I just want to say congratulations on breaking the record. But also, I wondered if K0WRU Bob was still out there. I had a question.
Bob 2, you still on frequency? It doesn't appear so. I don't know if he gets on the sideband net or not. That might be what he's doing, is getting things prepared for that. I really don't know. But he is on. He monitors on here quite a little bit, and he's also on 4.6 too. Like we've talked before. So he's on there quite a bit too. You might catch him on one of them sometime.
Yeah, I'll either listen, see if he's on there, or I might shoot him an email. I was just going to ask him if he still had that tower that I talked to him about last meeting, so that way I know whether or not I'm bringing the money. So So anyway, all right, well, I'll say 73 to you, Wes, and we'll talk to you later. If I don't hear from you before, we'll see you Saturday.
All right, Marvin, but that's not Bob 2, that's Bob 1, KA0RM. So as far as I know, he does still have the tower, and he may still be on frequency, because we were calling for the other Bob.
Somebody calling my name.
Yeah, Bob, it's Marvin, N0MLP. I was just, I got the call signs mixed up, I guess, but yeah, I was just calling to verify if you still had that tower we talked about at the last meeting there.
I saved it for you.
Oh, well, okay, then. I'll be sure and bring you the money for that.
I'll pick it up Saturday.
Yeah, that'd be just fine with me.
All right, well, after the picnic, we'll just come back here and load it up.
Good deal. Sounds like a plan. I appreciate it.
No problem. Good to hear you up there, Marvin. A little bit scratchy, but you're getting in pretty good shape. KA0RM.
All right, well, that settled that all. Well, it's good to know. And you get that tower up a little taller than what you're at now, you'll get into the repeater even better. And so this is AE0OC. This is just going to give one more check for have any final check-ins for the OARS net.
KD0AEL, Kilo Delta 0, Alpha Echo Lima, Patty in Springfield.
Well, hello, Patty. How are you tonight? And how much rain did you get?
I'm doing pretty good this evening, actually, after completing my work week. The last I looked, we had 1.4 inches here. I did not look at the total this morning after the overnight, and nor did I check to see what we got this afternoon. We did have some pretty good spells come across Springfield. I guess it was this morning, not this afternoon. So we've been generously blessed here and grateful for it. I hope all are doing well. I just wanted to jump in here for the count and continue your record on this, setting the record. And 73 to you, good to talk to you this evening. 80AEL.
All right, well, thank you for that, Patty. I very much appreciate it. And you actually bumped us up to 15, which is the record since Zach and I started this net back up several months ago. And so we're excited to keep building it and getting it bigger and bigger. And when we get the new tower, or the new repeater up on the new tower, things are going to even get better. And people that couldn't get in very easy before will be able to just get in with no problem, I hope. So we're looking forward to growing as things go. I appreciate you checking in. This is AE0OC. Do I have any further check-ins? All right. Well, I think that probably concludes the net for the night. I sure appreciate it. 15 check-ins, including myself, and a new record I'm glad to have set. Excited about the way things are going with this net and with this club in general. Everything is really moving forward, and I'm really glad to be a part of it. So I appreciate everyone who checked in tonight. I'm going to say 73 to all of you and return the repeater back to normal operation.
45 minutes, Wes.
Yeah, that was a pretty good net, to say the very least.
I'm going to go.